Today we are going to discuss the applications of rotational spectra. By determining the frequency of separation, that is delta nu bar, it is possible to calculate moment of inertia I of the molecule using equation B equal to h upon 8 pi square IC. Okay. Then, knowing the masses of atoms present in the diatomic molecule, it is possible to calculate distance between the atoms, that is R0. Okay. That is internuclear distance, or it is also known as bond length. And this is determined by using the equation of I. What is the equation? I is equal to m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. We have represented this particular quantity by another letter, that is mu, okay, and r0 square. So by using this equation we can determine the value of this moment of inertia, this bond length or internuclear distance. So the internuclear distance, bond length, or the distance between the two atoms can be determined with the help of this microwave or rotational spectra. So the important application of these rotational spectra is determination of bond length of the molecule. Okay, simple problem. What is the moment of inertia? So better if you try to solve this yourself, will be again better. What is the moment of inertia of diatomic molecule whose internuclear distance is 150 picometer and reduced mass is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 kilogram. Okay, so this is very simple question. How we can apply the rotational spectra? So what is the aim? What is the moment of inertia? That means we have to determine the value of I for the diatomic molecule whose internuclear distance is already given, and that internuclear distance value is, or the bond length value is 150 picometer, isn't it? And directly the value of mu is given, that is 1.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 kilograms. Very simple. Which equation we'll use? We'll use this equation. Instead of this, we write mu, that is m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2, but being the masses are not given, directly the value of mu is given, and you simply substitute these two values there. So what is the value of mu? It is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 7 kilograms. Okay. Now if you take this value in SI units, the value of other quantity should also be considered in the SI unit itself, and this will be 150 into 10 raised to minus 12 kilogram meter square. Okay. Now this is the first problem, simple problem, that we can determine the value of moment of inertia. Now we'll go for another problem of CO molecule. Okay. Now this kind of problems are a prominent problem as far as your examinations are concerned. Okay. Now let us see what is the problem. The pure rotational spectra of gaseous SCl molecule is taken place. Sorry, we should write SCl. Pure rotational spectra of gaseous SCl is determined, and it contains a series of equally spaced lines. Okay, already we see when we get the pure rotational spectra, the lines are separated by constant distance. Okay, and what is the constant distance given here? It is 20.80 per centimeter, isn't it? So the first thing which is given in the problem is the value of these equally spaced lines. Okay, distance, the distance between the two lines, and we already seen this distance between the two line is corresponding to 2b value. Okay, so the 2b value is given, and that 2b value is 20.80 per centimeter, which implies the value of b will be equal to 20.8 divided by 2, and that will be equal to 10.4 per centimeter. Okay, now it asks, or the question is to calculate the internuclear distance of this molecule. Now we have to find the value of r, okay, or say r0. Now in order to find out this r value, what formula is required, or the equation which we will use will be I is equal to mu r0 square. Okay, mu r0 square, and therefore r0 will be equal to under root of I by mu. So first of all, we need to determine the value of I, and the value of I will be determined by using equation h upon 8 pi square bc, okay, and the value of mu. So what will be the value of mu? The value of mu will depend upon the masses. Okay, so the value of masses should be given in the problem. So you can consider it will be given in the question, that is given. Now the mass of hydrogen will be equal to, in terms of kilograms, it is 1.673 into 10 to the power minus 27, and that for the SCl, the mass is equal to 58.06 into 10 raised to minus 27 kilogram. Okay, so mu will be equal to, what is mu? It's a reduced mass, and it is equal to m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So first of all, let us determine the value of this mu. What is m1? It's the mass of hydrogen, and it is already given in terms of kilograms, so need not to be considered. Okay, or need not to be converted in another unit. So directly you can consider it in terms of kilograms into 10 raised to minus 27 into, what is the value of mass of that chlorine? It's 58.06 into 10 raised to minus 27 divided by summation of these two, that is 1.673 plus 58.06 into 10 to the power minus 27. Okay, so this one will be cancelled with this one, and what remaining value we are getting? So this multiplied by this 73 into 58.06 divided by 1.673 plus 58.06 into 10 raised to minus 27. This will be the, you need to calculate it. Okay, you just calculate this value it will be x. Now determine the value of I. So I will be equal to h, that is a 6.623 into 10 to the power minus 34 in SI units, 8 into 3.14 square into value of BC is given in this question again, that is 10.4 into C is 3 into 10 raised to minus what, 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. Okay. So just calculate this value, it will be y. Okay, I and mu, and substitute here. So directly you will get the R0, substitute this value of x, that is mu, and y, that is I. So y by x, and determine the value of R0, which will be in terms of meter, because already we have considered the SI units here. If an atom in a molecule is replaced by its isotope, chemically the new molecule is not different from the original molecule in respect of electron distribution, internuclear distance, and dipole moment. But because of difference in the mass of isotope, moment of inertia of the molecule will be changed. This means that if the moment of inertia increases, the value of B will be decreased. That is, the value of reduced mass constant, okay, will be decreased. What is the value of B? It is h upon 8 pi square IC. And see, there is a relation between this B and I as a inverse relation or reciprocal relation. So as the energies of this rotational level, okay, or the, you may say, the wave number, okay, because we measure the energy in terms of wave number. Wave number of rotational levels are directly related to the value of B. How it is related? Concerning the value of wave number will be related to B, that is, will always get the 2B value. Now the energies of rotational level will be decreased. That is, the energy levels will come closer and closer to each other. So by the example here, consider the example of a CO molecule, okay, carbon monoxide molecule. Now if you consider another molecule, same molecule, that is CO, right? Now what is the difference? No difference, both of them are same. But instead, in one case, if I take this normal molecule, that is carbon having atomic mass 12, and another molecule has carbon 13, that mass is changed, and such kind of molecules, they are considered as isotopes. Okay, the molecules are same, but their masses are different, isn't it? So the isotope, the carbon has its two isotopes here. Mass of this carbon is 13, mass of this carbon is 12. So these two molecules are different only in respect of their masses of one single atom, isn't it? Now if you consider the rotational spectra, okay, or the energy values of this molecule, that is carbon 12 monoxide molecule and carbon 13 monoxide molecule, what we have? We see the energy levels in case of carbon 12, CO12 energy levels, and then energy levels in case of CO13. Okay, so in case of carbon 12, we'll get the general or normal energy levels, that is for J is equal to 0 value ground state, then very close distance with J is equal to 1. Okay, so J is equal to 2, the lines will be separated more than earlier one. For J is equal to 3, again there will be more separation. Okay, for J is equal to 4, lines are separated much more. J is equal to 5, J is equal to 6, like this. So as we go up, or the value of J increases, this gap between the energies, okay, it get increased. In the first case it is, we have seen, in the first case it is 2b, then it become 4b, then 6b, and so on. So as we go up with respect to the J values, the spacing between these two lines, that is gap of the energy level, it get increased. Okay. Now, in case of carbon 13 in the ground state, we'll have the same situation. That is here, J is equal to 0. For the first, we'll get the value, J is equal to 1, we'll get the same line. For J is equal to 2, we get the line like this. For J is equal to 3, we get another line, energy line or energy level. And for 5, we'll get this energy level. For 6, we get this energy level. So as we go up, we see the energy levels are same. Okay. But as we go up, this value comparatively, this is lower than this. That means this is going like this. Now see, the energy values are constantly lower. Okay. In all the cases, energy values are constantly lower. And this difference is getting decreased and decreased. So if you compare this carbon 12 and carbon 13 normal molecule and isotopic molecule, we see this gap of the lines it getting decreased, and this particular thing is considered as isotopic effect. Why this happened? Because of isotope. And what actually happened there? If you see, in this case, this moment of inertia, okay, moment of inertia for this particular molecule, or B value, say rather B value is equal to h upon 8 pi square IC, isn't it? So this B value, suppose this is B dash, and here if it is B, so h upon 8 pi square IC I dash C, like this. So if I consider here these values, and in case of CO13, okay, what we get, the lines we get will be like this. Again, the distance of the lines will be diverted, okay, or it will be lesser and lesser. Practically, with the value which we are getting is for carbon monoxide normal, the absorption was taken place at 3.84235 per centimeter. Okay. And in case of carbon 13, this value was appeared at 3.67337 per centimeter. Okay, this value is lower value, right? If this is the absorption line, okay, or the first absorption, then what does it indicate? This is the value of 2b. Now what will be the value of b? Then it will be this divided by 2, half of this, that will be 1. So the b in this case will be equal to 1.92118 per centimeter, and the v value in this case will be half of this, that is 1.83669 per centimeter. So if you see, if you replace one of the atom with same atom but with a different mass, we see the lines or the absorption line which we are getting here is having the value lesser than the earlier one. Okay, lesser than earlier one. Now, as we have seen, what is the B? B is equal to h upon 8 pi square IC. And if you take the ratio of B and B dash, suppose this is B dash, isn't it? B dash. Now, if you take the ratio of these two, B is equal to h upon 8 pi square IC normal into, that means divided by this. So I will reverse the values of numerator and denominator, and what we get here, 8 pi square I dash C divided by H. So all the values, common values will be cancelled, 8 pi square C. And what ratio we are getting? That is I dash divided by I. Okay. and this value of moment of inertia directly depends upon mu value. Okay, and what is mu? It's a reduced mass. So the I dash will be directly proportional to mu dash and I will be directly proportional to mu. And this value or the ratio of these two is found to be 1.046. Okay, 1.046. This particular ratio, if we divide this and this, we'll get this ratio. That means mu dash by mu ratio is 1.046, isn't it? Now what is mu dash? What is mu dash? That is m1 m2 divided by m1 plus m2. And what is m1? It's a carbon, mass of carbon. In case of mu dash, it is carbon 13. In case of mu, it is carbon 12. So another is constant. Okay, this one is constant. So what we see here, the mass of this isotope, okay, in case of mu dash is suppose unknown, right? And we have to determine it. That will be the practical application. That if this carbon is isotope of this and mass is unknown, then we can determine it. So let us consider that the mass of that carbon is m dash. Okay, and we know what is the mass of oxygen. It is 15.9994. Okay, divided by m dash plus 15.9994. Okay, into, okay, just taking the ratio mu. So here we know the mass of carbon is 12 and the mass of oxygen is 15.9994 divided by 12 into 15.9994, isn't it? So all the values are known. This value is known, that is the ratio. And the mass of oxygen is known, mass of carbon 12 is 12. Okay, the only value which we are not knowing and we have to determine is m dash. Okay, and what is m dash? Is the mass of isotopic carbon. So if you solve for this m dash, we get the value of m dash is equal to 13.0007. That means nearly 13. So what actually we have done? We have determined the atomic mass. Atomic mass of carbon 13 will be equal to 13.007. So the actual and practical mass, isotopic mass of an atom has been determined. So this is determined with the help of rotational spectroscopy. So the another important application for a determination of rotational spectroscopy is determination of isotopic mass, okay, or that particular effect. This ratio becomes something different than 1, because if the same molecules are there, the ratio is expected to be 1, but actually we are getting different ratio, and this kind of effect is known as isotopic effect. Got the point? So this is all about your rotational spectra. Next time we'll come up with another molecular spectroscopy, and that is vibrational or infrared spectroscopy. Till that time, we'll stop here. Thank you very much.